Hello guys, today I'm reading chapter 4 of Fantastic Mr. Fox. So let's read. Chapter 4, The Terrible Shovels. Down the hole, Miss Fox was tenderly licking the stump of Mr. Fox's tail to stop the bleeding. It was the finest tail for miles around, she said between licks. It hurts, said Mr. Fox. I know it does, sweetheart, but it will soon get better. And it will soon grow again, Dad, said one of the small foxes. It will never grow again, said Mr. Fox. I shall be tailless for my rest of my life. He looked very glum. So here are the four. That's the three children, and that's one of the four. That's one more there. That's Miss Fox, who's being like a doctor and examining his tail. Right there. There was no food for the foxes that night, and soon the children dozed off. Then Miss Fox dozed off, but Mr. Fox couldn't sleep because of the pain in the stump of his tail. Well, he thought, I suppose I'm lucky to be alive at all. And now they have found our hole, we are going to have to move out as soon as possible. We will never get any peace if we... What's that? He turned his head sharply and listened. The noise he heard now was the most frightening noise a fox can ever hear. The scraping of shovels digging into the soil. Wake up, he shouted. They're digging us out. Miss Fox was wide awake in 1 second. She sat up, quivering all over. Are you sure that's it? She whispered. I'm positive. Listen. They will kill my children, said Miss Fox. Never, said Mr. Fox. But darling, they will, sobered Miss Fox. You know they will. Scrunch, scrunch went the shovels above their heads. Smooth stones and bits of earth began falling from the roof of the tunnel. How will they kill us, Mummy? Asked one of the small foxes. His round black eyes were huge as fright. Will there be dogs? He cried. Miss Fox began to cry. She gathered her 4 children close to her and held them tight. Suddenly there was an especially loud crunch above their heads, and the sharp end of a shovel came right through the ceiling. The sight of this awful thing seemed to have an electric effect upon Mr. Fox. He jumped up and shouted, I've got it! Come on! There is not a moment to lose. Why didn't I sing this before? Think of what, Dad? A fox can dig quicker than a man, shouted Mr. Fox. Begin to dig. Nobody in the world can dig as quick as a fox. The soil began to fly out furiously behind Mr. Fox as he started to dig for dear life with his front feet. Miss Fox ran towards to help him. So did the 4 children. Go downwards, ordered Mr. Fox. We have got to go deep as we possibly can. The tunnel began to grow longer and longer. It sloped steeply downward, deeper and deeper. Below the surface of the ground it went. The mother and the father and all 4 of the children were digging together. Their front legs were moving so fast you couldn't see them. And gradually the crunching and scraping of the shovel became fainter and fainter. After about an hour, Mr. Fox stopped digging. Hold on, he said. They all stopped. They turned and looked back up the tunnel. They had just dug. All was quiet. Phew, said Mr. Fox. I think we've done it. They will never get as deep as this. Well done, everyone. They all sat down, panting for breath, and Miss Fox said to her children, I should like you to know that if it wasn't your father, we should all be dead by now. Your father is a fantastic fox. Mr. Fox looked at his wife and smiled. He loved her more than ever when she said things like that. And that's chapter 5. I hope you enjoyed reading chapter 4, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye.